Hoyoverse has released 3 really great games. Genshin is more or less seen as that gacha game that you spend $1 billion in, and Zenless is more or less used to Goon. But Honkai Star Rail, in my eyes, strikes the perfect balance between that. And there's also Honkai Impact Art, but I have no idea what the f that's about and I couldn't be bothered to Google. In this video, I'll be listing off the good and bad things about Honkai Star Rail. So this means if you didn't have an opinion on whether or not you wanted to get the game or not, hopefully you will be able to form an opinion after this video. I've played Honkai Star Rail for almost 2 years now, so I'd say you could trust me. Hi, Editor Rainbow here. Fun fact, I actually only played the game for 1 year, even though I thought I was playing it for 2. So I guess that just goes to show how fast time could fly by, but I guess it doesn't. So if at any point in the future I mention I've been playing for 2 years, I really only mean 1. Okay, bye. A quick heads up though, while I won't try and spoil anything lore-wise, there will definitely be gameplay spoilers. So if you're not okay with that, there's a spoiler warning for that. But more importantly, epilepsy warning. There will be, no doubt, some flashing lights and some really funky stuff during the entire video. So if you can't handle it, I would recommend you instead just listen to the video. I'm gonna try my best to not make it visual only. Now you also have heard this probably many times before, but I kind of have to say it, otherwise there's gonna be that one guy that's gonna say, "What the f, man?" Everything I'm gonna say in this video are from my experience, so this means there'll also be my own opinions. So this means if I hate something that someone else might love, don't see this as a personal attack or literally anything, alright? Just maybe take it with a grain of salt. Emphasis on maybe. Oh, and also this video is not sponsored by them. Do you really think that a small channel like mine is gonna get attention from a huge company like theirs? No. Number 1, the fighting system. Now, normally you'd think that if I play Honkai Star Rail, I'd say that I'd mainly play it because it's anime, but I'd be kidding if I'd say that the fighting mechanic isn't good. Like, legitimately. Do you like turn-based fighting? Well, boy, I have some good news for you. You can wait as long as you want if it's your turn.
There's no time like the present.
Yeah, I know that there's no time like the present, but I'm busy, so shut the fuck. Jokes aside though, the combat is simple, elegant, yet at the same time complicated and exciting without making it too overcomplicated, so much so that you'll get lost. The game introduces it nicely, the tutorial is smooth, and the fighting itself is just really smooth. Plus, if you pick the right characters and make them play in the same team together, it feels insanely rewarding. Nowadays, the game actually tells you which character works best in which team, but some duos aren't mentioned, yet they work insanely well. Now, most likely the footage you're seeing right now is probably very overwhelming for you, but there's a reason for that. I'm more or less showing you endgame footage here. Things can get chaotic here. But honestly, if you're into anime, you're most likely gonna be okay with this since everything's over the top anyway and nothing abide by IRL rules anyway, so I doubt that's a concern. Nonetheless though, the stats are simple, the fighting system is simple, and it's not overcomplicated in the slightest unless you want to intentionally screw yourself over. Number 2, character design. No, I don't just mean the women. Character design is something that you normally don't think matters that much, but Honkai in my eyes gives a perfect example of character design done right. Every background character has more or less single-toned clothes, emphasizing that they're not important to the story. They're more or less generic, while important characters, or especially playable characters, have a lot of detail on them. Seriously, I've played Honkai for 2 years now, and I only now noticed, or just a couple weeks ago noticed, that Fugu has a fucking leaf imprint on her shoulder. Like, damn. Every character is uniquely designed, and they fit their own world a lot. And even on other worlds, they didn't look too out of place. Okay, maybe seeing a fox girl on a space station is a bit out of place. All characters look unique and have a unique feel to them, which just goes to show how important character design is in terms of game design. Number 3, the lore. Do you like games that have a lot of lore, where there's gonna be moments where you feel really emotional, moments where you feel really immersed, moments where you have no idea what the fuck just happened, even though you literally just played through it, and moments that make you literally go, what the fuck? No? Well, that's too bad! God, sometimes I'm trying way too hard to be funny, I think. The lore in this game is probably the most immersive lore I've ever read, and that says a lot, considering how I normally have never cared about lore or have ever read before. So if the game can get someone like me to read something this immersive and make reading text fun, I think that says something. Nonetheless, since Honkai takes place in the cosmic spacey landscape, with reality-breaking logic, or reality-breaking to us at least, it can be really fun to learn the ins and outs, especially if you're interested in the cosmos or in space in general. The game has immersive lore, it's fun to read and or listen to, and it's not filled with too many riddles to leave you completely clueless. Like, sure, there are some moments where you'll be a bit confused, but you can definitely tell that some thought was put into it. And honestly, it's nice to see that. Number 4. Cutscenes and side missions. I'm categorizing these two smaller things into one main topic because I already talked about the biggest points in my opinion. But long story short, the cutscenes are really cool because they capture the emotions well, and they really show just how important or intense some moments can be in the lore. The side missions fill in lore gaps, make playing the game fun, and sometimes even make a change in the gameplay to not make it all too repetitive. So all in all, they're the typical side quests that you see in most other games. The ones that are basically the things the characters do canonically on the planet that aren't important to the main mission that they're doing. Plus all the side missions are categorized and it's not just one big clump. So that's nice. Though they indirectly removed the daily quests, so boo-hoo me. They both make the game fun, not repetitive, and keep giving you something to do. Plus, almost every cutscene is fun to watch. Fun game so far, huh? Well, yeah, but like many other games, every upside has a downside. So let's stop sugarcoating things and get to the downsides. Number 1, no modding support. I'm just gonna say it as it is, like, this is by far the worst thing, but there's nothing we can really do about it. The game is filled with lots of cool content to keep you busy for months, yes, but Hoyo is insanely strict when it comes to modding. And I'm not saying that Hoyo's game engine doesn't support mods. There are mods out there, but I'm saying that Hoyo outright bans your account if they catch you using a mod because you'd violate their terms of service. Even little things like adding a single audio file or literally just adding a singular pixel will trigger the anti-mod thing, and you can say goodbye to all the effort that you put into the game. You could argue that the game has enough content to the point that you don't need to mod it, but I'd say it'd be nice to have like a couple? But personally, I feel like a few luxury or quality of life features would be nice, and even just some custom community content would always be welcome. But as it is right now, the creativity and imagination of modders are kind of left to writing it on a Word document and imagining how it would work. Sure, you could program a whole ass game, like, but ain't nobody got time for that. Fun fact though, I actually had a video planned that I would upload instead of this one, where I would talk and elaborate about a plan I had on how the devs could allow modding without violating terms of service or without touching game data. But, like, even though I outright wrote a 6-page PDF about it and sent it to the devs directly, I doubt that changes anything, albeit I am proud of making it. There's a good chance I'm not gonna finish that video though, unless you guys really want to see it. Also, with that, I am absolutely not condoning the fact that you should mod the game, alright? Just to be clear here. So, if you're gonna go out and mod, don't point at me and tell me that I am at fault, okay? I am not condoning any of this. Number 2. Odd difficulty curve. As much as I love the story, I don't love getting punched in the crotch while playing a boss multiple times. Thank you very much. The story is insanely easy. You basically can't lose unless you give yourself an intentional handicap, which in my eyes is actually a good thing. Same goes for most of the side quests, but once you reach the final boss, oh boy, they have a sudden difficulty spike. And then there is that giant brick wall with wings. You'll know it when you see it. Trust me. Normally everything is smooth sailing, but my god. The climax is insanely good, only for you to get beat the shit out of multiple times for what seems like no reason. And some entire game modes are just like someone threw a bunch of shit at the wall. I'm looking at you, Golden Gears 4. Wait, that's it? Just these two downsides? Yeah, just that. All the other things are just things you dislike. So, preferences, basically. So everything else is subjective? But, like, these two downsides are pretty bare bones, no? Well, it's a good game, then. Plus, the two things you already mentioned already have a big impact, so the only thing you could really talk about is copyright. And I doubt you'd do that. Well... Damn. So, would I recommend Honkai Star Rail to you? In my eyes, if you're a fan of anime-styled RPGs with a turn-based fighting system, then yeah, absolutely. Or if you want to go. It's a really good game, and Plus, it gets updated constantly too with brand new content. I mean, look at me. I have ADHD, so I normally switch between games every month or two, and yet Honkai is stuck with me for 2 years now. So, it's an odd exception, but I like it. All in all, while there are things that definitely do suck, the gameplay, design, and the lore really make up for it. If all of those things sound like something that fits you, then I'd absolutely suggest for you to play the game. If you're wondering whether or not I'm gonna make a video about the other 2 games, most likely not. Genshin has a negative reputation for me, and I can't play Zenless without thinking straight, so I doubt I'd make a video about them. Outro here, you can freestyle this future rainbow, I believe in you. Nah man, you tell me what the f*** I have to say. What am I doing with my life?